This channel's real, this channel's about documenting, this channel's about talking, having an open opinions. And let's get started. Say whoa, say whoa. Say whoa. Head of a horse, the body of a man. Unidentified flying object. Welcome back to another video.
And I'm putting my life in danger by doing it. I don't feel good about this. I feel guilty as hell. This is why I'm sharing it. But there's a 3-letter agency. The letters are I, A, and C. I'm sure you can do the math on that. And I'm sure you've heard the term G-stalked or getting followed. I get paid $10,000 a month by that organization to follow people. All I have to do is follow one person a day, make sure they see me, take a video, send it in. I have a tracking app on my phone. I can see at least 100 people a day, and I get to pick who I follow. All I have to do is make sure they see me and send in the video. That's it. Just doing some creepy shit. Share this, like this, send it to your homies. If you called someone crazy for getting G-stalked, sorry, dude. It's real.
No, it's scrub. Scrub.
Chosen ones, you are being watched 24/7. Remember that the wicked watches the righteous, okay, like a fallen angelic watcher. You have to understand, blessed is the man who does not walk amongst the unrighteous, wicked, Nephilim, reptile brain activated, gang-stalking individuals. Because once you wake up to the reality of this system and that the righteous will inherit the earth, and the watchers don't want you to inherit. So they're going to do everything that they can to keep you from your heavenly inheritance that can come only from the Father. This is why if you're a chosen one and you choose the law, which is the truth, which is the Bible, you are going to be hated no matter what you do and where you go by at least a certain amount of people. So this is why it's easier and it's better most of the time to be in a state of isolation where you're alone or all one. When you're around other people, you need to understand that the lesser is blessed by the greater or better, Hebrews 7:7. So just the very act of being around you because you have no guile, behold, if you can maintain not having guile or secret hatred towards your brother. People love being around you because they can just suck the living life out of you without giving anything back. And this is one of the major reasons, if not the reason, why these watcher fallen angelic entities watch the chosen ones. They can't wait to suck the energy out of you.
Most of the travelers you're gonna see, they just going to work. The gang stalkers gonna make blocks. You're gonna be able to pinpoint their cars because most of these individuals, they are just communing back and forth with the work. The gang stalker gonna have to turn a block. The gang stalker gonna have to expose themselves. You retirees in the big old 1200 Rams and the Lexuses and the Cadillacs that's following me around in this little Nissan G6, you're gonna have to expose yourself to God today and let the world know how important I am in this G6. So you're gonna have to make blocks in that big old Cadillac. You're gonna have to make blocks in that big old Escalade. You're gonna have to keep making blocks in that 2022, that 2023, and you're gonna show the world how important this little broke dude is that's staying at the shelter that's riding in a G6. You finna show the world how important I am. God is finna show the world how important I am. So I put my gang stalkers in this position this morning. This is the position they in.
Gang 101, how to survive it. You can tell your parents this, your friends, your family who are telling you you're crazy, you're delusional. I'm gonna tell you what it is. Ready? Gang stalking is this. It's when either high up officials are illegally surveilling you, People that got a lot of money are illegally surveilling you because they got something to hide. Maybe identity theft, real estate theft, fraud, whatever it is. Maybe they're judges that took the bribes, right? Whatever it is. Maybe they have a fake license under your name. They got cars on your name, house on your, whatever it is, right? Maybe they try to poison you, put stuff in your food, right? Whatever it is. And what do? They try to torch you by getting a whole bunch of people to follow you in cars, changing license plates. A lot of times you're going to see like temporary tags, out of state, or they might lie on you to get an illegal surveillance on you, right? Then the people that are illegally surveilling you, the higher ups, are going to get nervous knowing they're lying on you. So they're going to try to figure out how to way to get out of it, to like pin something on you, right? It's like a scientific, data-based way of stalking somebody to make them look crazy, sound crazy, and sometimes unalive themselves, right? Why? Because they feel like they have no one to talk to. They don't trust anybody because everyone they tell doesn't believe them. Everyone that tells shuns them. Everyone they tell, they get a response like, oh, you're delusional, you're crazy. But maybe if you looked a little bit, you could see. Maybe if you took time to look, you could see that that person is probably telling the truth, right? Just go in the car with them a couple times and go see for yourself. Maybe you took a deeper look, or maybe you're just scared or shook because you don't want your illusion to be destroyed, right? It is what it is. But hey, I don't blame people, because, it's hard to believe sometimes that people go to those levels to like do that to somebody that's innocent. But it is what it is. This world we live in is kind of a sick place right now. It's not balanced at all. The scales are not balanced. It's very dark sometimes. And a lot of it is because of like what we watch on TV, what we watch on the news, right? It's like a fear-based program. And right now they're putting us to another thing to distract us from what's going on, right? We just shifted into a whole different like timeline right now, right? Crystalline sun. They don't want us to know that. They don't want us to get the upgrades and downloads. They want to put you back into fear-based thinking. Now look at what's on the news now. RIP, right? Sad, but this is what they do.
Here today to expose more on gang stalking, because from 2014 to 2016, I was what is called a targeted individual in the gang stalking world. Most people have no clue this even goes on, and some of you may have already had this happen to you. I want to just expose what is it. Gang stalking is a strategic, planned plot by a group of people to drive a person into suicide or incarceration or to an institution for the rest of their life by driving them crazy. Gang stalkers operate as organized criminals with very unethical tactics, straight out of a intelligence psychological manual. And the way they operate on doing these tactics are almost impossible to prove, and very impossible if their target is already on drugs, because then they can hide under the guise that, oh, they're hallucinating or they're just paranoid. Let me tell you, this is very real, and a lot of people have died because of this. I want to reach out to the ones out there today that may have been through this and need help.
TikTok back again with another gang stalking story. I just want to show you the things that these gang stalkers will do and how they operate, okay? So now, back in the 2000s, I was wanting another car, and I was looking for a particular kind of car. I was looking for a particular kind of Cadillac, okay? So I was searching around for this Cadillac, and what I always do before I buy any kind of vehicles, anything like that, I always ask God, can I have it first? Okay, I don't just go out and buy a car just because I want it. What I always do is I always go before God, ask him, can I have this car that I'm looking for first? So he says, yes, you can have the car. Okay, but then God throws me a curve. He says, but you must give your other car to your daughter. Well, I wasn't expecting that because that car is only like 2 years old. And I, just kind of threw me for a loop there. Like, okay, well, she can have that car. She's going to school and everything. She needs a good running car. And so we said, okay, well, yeah, we'll let her have that car. So what happens is we find a car at the Cadillac dealership. One of them came in, and there's only like 2 in the county like that. So I go to the dealership, and they do my credit and everything. They say I got good credit and everything. They said my credit was so good that all I really need to do is just put down $1,200 on the car. I was prepared to put down more than that, but they said all they need was $1,200. I said, okay, fine. But you put up the down payment and go through the loan process and everything. Now, all I got to do is come pick the car up, okay? So what happens is, now see the way these gang stalkers operate. They'll try to stop you from getting things or try to hinder you from doing what you want to do, okay? So what happens is I get a call from the car lot, and they tell me they got a lot of trouble going on over there here at the dealership. And I'm like, well, what's the problem, And he said they got a man over there. They said he's been walking around the car lot all day long, raising all kind of sand, causing them all kind of trouble, arguing with them and fussing with them because he says he wants that car. And he's got cash money and he wants to buy that car. He wants that car, and they told him that the car is already sold, and he says he doesn't care. He wants that car, and he says he's a white man and he wants that car. So that's when I get the call from the car line. They say, well, he's causing us all this trouble. And they say, well, you would help us out a whole lot if you can come over here and drive this car off the lot. And I told him, I said, well, I'm out of town right now and I can't come over there, but I can probably get my wife to come over there and get the car and drive away. They say, okay, well, yeah, if you can get your wife to come over and drive this car off this lot, you'll save us a whole lot of trouble. I'm like, okay, so my wife, she goes over there, picks the car up and drives the car off the lot. Okay, now, when we got this car, there became a whole lot of trouble with this car. I mean, these demonic people, these gang stalkers and their leaders were so mad about the fact that we got this car. Everywhere we take this car, we pretty much had to guard it because they were trying to damage the car. They were trying to run into the car on purpose. They were trying to steal the car from us. You couldn't leave the car out in the parking lot at the grocery store because they'll try to open the door on the car or hit the car with the buggies. I'm gonna tell you right now, I had one woman that was trying to rear in the car. I know at least 5 times this one woman tried to rear in that car doing at least 60 miles an hour. I had to go to the sheriff department and write a report. I gave them a description of a woman, what her car looks like, her license plate, and I knew they were going to tell her to stop because we had her whole description. So after that, we didn't see her no more, and I knew they were going to tell her to stop if they didn't have her doing that. Okay, but these are the things that they would do. Because they couldn't stop me from getting the car, then they tried to destroy the car. They were trying to run into that car so much that I had to park that car in my garage, and I kept it in my garage for like 2 years without even driving it because they were trying to do something to that car so bad. They were trying to have the car repossessed even when the payments was paid. Now, how does that happen? But they tried it. Gang stalking stories. Okay, now, like I've said before, these gang stalking people, they're into witchcraft, okay? And in this scenario, I had my 18-wheeler parked up the street from my house, behind a store, and I had actually went up there to check the oil and radiator and stuff because I was going to be driving the next day. So I actually had the hood open and I was checking a few things. And this guy pulls up on his bike, his bicycle. And he's like, wow, I never seen an engine in a big 18-wheeler like that. I'm like, really? He got off the bike. He was like, wow, I didn't know these engines was this big. I'm like, yeah. And he goes, can I take a picture? I was like, well, yeah, And he had a an instant camera, to take a picture and the picture comes out, instant camera. I said, yeah, go ahead and take a picture. Now, see, what I didn't realize back then, that I was actually giving away authority, because he asked me, can he take a picture of that engine in that truck? And I said, yeah, go ahead. So he takes this picture of the engine, and then I didn't think nothing of it. And he rode off on the bike. And so I go home, and the Lord thy God of heaven speaks to me, and he says that I need to go back and anoint the engine in my truck. And I was like, why? Because the guy took a picture of the engine. So I didn't ask him the question. I went back and anointed the engine in my truck. And then the Lord thy God, he said, now nothing will happen to it. Okay, so I'm thinking, like, this guy took a picture of my engine. No, now, a couple of days later, I come to find out that this guy had done took the picture. He had went home, okay, with the picture, lit up some candles, and was performing satanic rituals with that picture to cause something to happen to the engine in that truck. See what I'm saying? Now, we don't know people do that. People do that. He took a picture and went home and tried to do something evil with it. And that's what these people do.
Another thing I've noticed about the gang stalkers, the quote unquote losers, the weirdos that come up and post up when I come after I sit here for a little bit and I see them pop up. The one that was sitting over there, I got it on my story if you want to go see it. The one that was sitting over there in the little Nissan, and then the sheriff that was sitting over here, the Nissan left first, right? And turned around, made a U-turn. It was being weird, right? And then after that, shortly after that, the sheriff left. So thank you. Take your tails on somewhere. Please believe it. Go get you a life, gang stalkers. Because y'all pop up out of nowhere, take your tail on somewhere. Yes, I'm keeping it very PG. I say tail. I really want to say some other words. But no, God has been working on me. I'm a lot better than I used to be. Please believe it's still hard. It's still hard. Don't think I'm perfect. I am not perfect. I'm never going to be perfect. But damn it, I try very hard. I work on myself very hard. But these little losers, these little minions, these little weirdos, clowns, cowards, fools, and all the above, you know what I'm saying? They some fools. They left in the same time, like unison. You notice that when gang stalkers leave at the same time or whatever, you already know they together. Please believe.
So this is another video at 60 Carlton Street, Loblaws in Toronto, and this store has been heavily involved with setting me up. Okay, these corrupt officials get these gang stalkers to set me up. They observe what I buy, and they set me up with epinephrine, in other words, adrenaline, to cause a cardiac arrest, okay? So notice how they made eye contact. These gang stalkers are notorious for making eye contact to communicate with each other, and they use hand signals as well to communicate with each other. Now you're going to notice that one stalker will go in, another one will go out. They try not to crowd in the aisles so it's not as obvious. And this has been happening to me since 2020. And every time I go into an aisle, it's empty, but the moment I get there, they just start flocking. Please do not scroll. I have been under investigation since 2020 for getting my ex charged with assault. My ex's parents are well connected and they placed me under surveillance while they were setting me up to unalive me before trial in 2020. They somehow blackmailed my landlord at the time to get me kicked out, and then while I was on the streets, I had no choice but to ESCORT myself because it was during lockdown and I didn't have a job at that time. They also used informants to record me while I was intimate with my friends and while I was under the influence. They were trying to build a case on me to get some dirt on me before trial, and they didn't get enough, so I guess this is why they had set me up to unalive me before trial. They could have also done this and recorded me without my knowledge just to further smear me in the community, to say I was someone who had an addiction, that I had problems, that I was unstable, just so they could quietly get rid of me before trial. They have set me up on multiple occasions with adrenaline, 7 times specifically, and if you guys don't know, adrenaline can cause your heart to stop. It can cause a cardiac arrest. It's been 5 years and these individuals are still setting me up. They've gotten many people in the community to participate, whether it's them lying to them or just because they fully know what's happening and they agree to go along with this. This program is being misused and it's being misused for nefarious reasons. Now, the people who are behind my situation, I cannot mention it on TikTok anymore. I have mentioned them multiple times. They are affiliated with my ex's parents, but I will give you a hint, and you can also go to my repost section to see more about my situation. There's a letter G in the middle of what they have. Okay, so if you know about the letter G, that's one of their you know what. When you're placed under investigation, you are going to know that you're under investigation because people are not going to want to talk to you anymore. I have no family, I have no support. Even my own dad is compromised and they use him against me to set me up on multiple occasions. They have also tried to frame me through my bank account. This is my 3rd TikTok account trying to get the word out there, and they constantly report my videos down. And because the lies are coming out, now they're trying to do damage control and they're trying to tell people that I'm either just making this up, looking for attention, or I'm just completely out of my mind. People are not going to believe what you're doing, especially because I have videos of people admitting that they are following me, but they're not getting paid for it. I have proof that my bank account is tapped. I have products that you guys have tampered with, specifically with adrenaline. Okay, so I feel like people are out of touch. People who are behind my harassment are really out of touch because they just think that they can just easily sweep this under the rug by smearing me. But they know very well when they see the videos that I post, people are not going to believe them. And the lies are coming out.
This is what gang stalking is all about. All this vehicle did was pull in here, turn around, stop, went up the road, turn around, and came back and parked right there. There's nothing around here, number woods back there, for somebody to just pull up there and stop. This is gang stalking right here.
People like you, that's the reason why there's no peace in the black community, because you are a cold sellout. You sell your own people for a little piece of change. People like you don't need to exist. People like you don't need to be around black people. People like you don't even need to be lit. I'll tell you right now, if you ever cross me, I promise you be, okay? So whatever game, whatever mindset, whatever piece of change you were getting paid for, I'm just letting you know right now. I grew up in the hood without no dad, with my mom just like you. I struggle. I know how it is. So whatever thing you think you playing, I'm like 5 steps ahead of you. I've been the whole time. I watch every move you make, and I got you on camera. And if you ever try or go against me, I promise you. I'm just letting you know right now, okay? All right. I don't care what you do. Don't even wave to me. I don't know you. I don't even want no love from you. That's how you treat this sellout. That's how you treat this sellout. All right? That's how they do. They sell their own people for a little piece of change. You see that shit? Look at it. Look.
Hello, targeted individuals. There's a few things that will get you gang stalked. Ticking off public officials, police officers, or government workers, that'll get you gang stalked. Let's see, co-workers that don't want you working there or want to get rid of you, that'll get you gang stalked too. Ticking off rich people or somebody that's got a lot of money, that can put out a lot of money, that'll get you gang stalked also. Say living around or living somewhere or living in a house or neighborhood in a place where a bunch of people don't want you living, that will get you a gang stalk also. Family members that are mad at you about something or jealous of you about something, that will also get you gang stalked.
On it is it's because you're spiritually inclined. It's because you're tapped in heavy. You're a very strong person. These people are weak. They want what you have. And also there's people there's people from my past now that I've been picking this up for a while, that some people are like, I get what she's talking about now. I think I'm going through gang stalking. And if they're not spiritually inclined, they're definitely not going through gang stalking. They're going through heavy karma, which is actually a lot worse than gang stalking, which says a lot. Because when I was going through gang stalking, when I was getting out of it, that was a very low point of my life. A whole nother type of abandon and backstab from so many people. Very disappointing. But just know that the blessing in disguise, it's eye-opening. It shows you people's true colors on a whole nother level. It shows you your power. It shows you how smart you are, how dumb some other people are. And you just start stepping into your dream life thanks to gang stalking. So you can get out of it. You just have to use I manifested my way out of it. That's my main gift, manifesting my way out of, you can manifest your way out of gang stalking. There's probably a lot of other ways to get out of gang stalking too. So if you have a very specific gift, use it to get out of your situation.
Go to jail if you know what to do? How? You create the situation to where they have no choice but to act on their impulse. And once they act on that impulse, then we call that entrapment. We call it a nudge. A nudge. A nudge. Sometimes you just gotta give a quick look just to see what happens, right? How does that happen? You put a post out there, or you have some fake profile say something that we know is going to trigger them, right? Like, we already know your history. If we're to that point, we already know everything about it. So we're like, oh, this will piss them off.
In the early years of the 20th century, this world was being watched closely as human beings busied themselves about their various concerns. They were scrutinized and studied. With infinite complacence, people went to and fro over the earth about their little affairs, serene in the assurance of their dominion over this small, spinning fragment of solar driftwood, which by chance or design, man has inherited out of the dark mystery of time and
FBI agent in 2011 wrote in a sworn affidavit that there is an illicit government gang stalking program. His name was Ted Gunderson, and everything that he said in his affidavit is to a T what I'm living. He wrote, individuals targeted by this program have been subjected to illegal and unconstitutional phone taps, illegal audio bugging, surreptitious entry into home, office, and vehicle, visual surveillance in the home conducted by illegal placement of miniature remote wireless cameras, illegal internet spyware, illegal GPS tracking, regular, fixed, and mobile surveillance, mail misdirection. That was the first sign that something was wrong, as my mail was being opened and tampered with. Mobile surveillance, mail theft and tampering, financial and employment sabotage, slander campaigns, and community ostracizing, internet disinformation and smear campaigns, poisoning, assaults, or illegal setups on drug charges and other felony charges, amongst many other civil rights abuses. It is like to a T what I am living. He wrote that people get targeted for a variety of reasons. He said that they could be corporate or government whistleblowers, parties to financial and employment disputes, parties to marital disputes, and even jilted paramours, which was my situation. They also will stalk and harass journalists who cover controversial issues, especially journalists who cover gang stalking, because they don't want this crime to be out and publicized. And so they pay off and threaten all of the big media companies so that they don't talk about gang stalking, so that this doesn't
been a fun distraction for those who follow world events and desire truth. But it is about to begin a much more important and necessary phase, keeping the public informed when the deep state war breaks out onto the surface. By this, I mean high-profile arrests. Yes, folks, the criminals I'm referring to are famous politicians, actors, singers, CEOs, and celebrities. People who have earned our trust, respect, and admiration. They have done very bad things that are all fully known and documented, and they will be severely punished. Those of us who have followed Q since the beginning will be here to help you make sense of the coming events. We are among the first to realize that our petty partisan divisions are just trivial distractions, and we are all enslaved by a hidden enemy. We realize that the problem was never capitalism or socialism, Democrat or Republican, black or white, Muslim or Christian. We know it was just very powerful criminals who had too much power. Fellow slaves, it's time to buckle your seatbelt, recognize your true enemy, and embrace a new future that we all owe to the brave patriots who risk their lives to achieve this victory against the greatest force of evil the world has ever known.